Yeah, you know what? I am looking for pictures of me and Dimebag because this is all before iPhones and all that stuff. They
Yeah.
didn't exist. People had to, back then it was the disposable camera that people used to bring and, send in to get the film developed. So, the pictures are out there. There's pictures of us on stage together. There's pictures of me playing his guitar on stage with Pantera. Um, but, it's not like it is now where there's pictures of everything.
Do that. And then that same album, you guys say, okay, now we're gonna do a headlining tour, and we're gonna get two bands to open for us. And who do you get? Pantera and Soundgarden.
Yes.
Both basically just put on a platform to launch into the universe. I mean, we got Cowboys from Hell was put out maybe a year prior, but was just gonna get picked up on the radio in '92.
Yeah.
And then you have, I don't know if on that same tour, Vulgar Display of Power. So you got Walk on the radio now. I mean,
So Vulgar was we heard Vulgar Display of Power the first night of the tour. They had just
okay.
finished it. It had not been released yet, and they came to our bus and presented us their record, and we were just like, "Oh man, oh my God, this is great!" Because I was a big fan. Um, I had before that I had been painting my kitchen, and I was sick, and I was drinking this cough medicine, and I was like really high, and I was listening to this station in New Jersey, WSOU. It was a college station, and they were the only place to hear metal, probably in the whole country, practically, and except for KNAC, of course. But Cowboys from Hell came on, and I was just blown away, blown away. I got in my car, I drove to a record store, I bought the record, came back, finished painting my kitchen. By the time I was done, I was a fan, and I brought it to the other guys in the band. And I said, "Listen to these guys." We were just floored. So we were like,
Wow.
"Let's try and bring them on tour with us." So we
Yeah.
did. We did. We
Yeah.
got Pantera on the road, and I'll tell you what, man, there is nothing to get you charged up for a show than standing there and watching those guys when you got to go on in 45 minutes.
I could
It, it,
imagine.
it just you got to bring your A game, man. Absolutely every night, because
Wow.
those guys were just a spectacle, an absolute spectacle.
I remember there's a footage of you guys playing Walk. I think during that tour, you guys were covering it, and I tried to get good footage of who's playing the solo. It sounded just like Dime. So but there was no footage of Dime. It was of Sebastian, you, Snake, and I didn't see Dime in there. But the solo was definitely being played, and it sounded identical,
He must have been there somewhere. I
right?
mean, there were a couple of nights where we all got together and played. We used to play Cold Gin a lot.
Yep, I saw
I
some videos
remember
of that.
one night, I think it was Dime and Rex. They took a bunch of Coors Light. Well, I remember Dime was like Gene Simmons, and he did his face paint, and they took the Coors Light boxes that were like kind of silver and made like Gene Simmons boots and chest protector and all that stuff out of the Coors Light.
That I saw last week. I found that video. That's a
Yeah,
great video. Yeah,
yeah.
that was insane. So you guys,
There was another night in Hannibal, Missouri, where between the stage and the audience was like this sandy area. It looked like a beach. It was like 30 feet to the audience, and they were separated by a chain link fence. It was just some sort of primitive, staging setup. So those guys during our show, they brought lawn chairs and a cooler and fireworks and sat in that beachy area and drank beer and shot off fireworks during our set. It was
how,
hilarious. It's the funniest thing ever.
oh my gosh, what the fans were thinking? They probably wanted to get in on that. So
Oh yeah, man.
you know, like it was just a constant party when those
It
dudes were
was.
there,
It was.
right?
It was really, really a lot of fun, and it was a lot of excess also. I
Yeah,
mean, talk about partying. Yeah.
yeah, those guys
We
did it
thought
up.
we thought we could drink until we hooked up with those guys.
Yeah, right. Oh
Wow.
my gosh, that's insane. You think another guy who was heavily influenced by Van Halen, you know?
Yeah.
Big one. We all know he was influenced by Randy in a big way.
We
Obviously.
would talk shop. We would talk guitar shop for hours.
Really?
Hours with Dimebag.
I think I found some. I tried to find a picture of you and Dimebag, and there was a photo shoot that took place. It was in black and white, and you're in it. It's you, Snake, Dime, and I think Ace Frehley.
Kim.
Kim.
Yep.
Oh yes, that's who it is. Okay,
yep.
There it is. You already know what I'm talking about.
That was for the Guitar World shoot. Yeah, you know what? I am looking for pictures of me and Dimebag because, you know, this is all before iPhones and all that stuff. They didn't exist. People had to, you know, back then it was the disposable camera that people used to bring and, you know, send in to get the film developed. So, you know, the pictures are out there. There's pictures of us on stage together. There's pictures of me playing his guitar on stage with Pantera. But, you know, it's not like it is now where there's pictures of everything.
Right. Maybe we'll do this. Open call. If anybody has any pictures back in the day, the Scotti and Dime, or any other player we don't seen, send them over. And we'll post them. We'll send them to you. And you can check them out. That'd be great to get, man. Gosh, yeah, absolutely.
And then you bring up the Soundgarden. That happened. Now that wasn't really the three of us touring together. We did a few shows with the three of us, but when Pantera had to leave the tour to go on their first tour of Japan, they were gone for maybe 2 weeks, and Soundgarden came. So we had Soundgarden out with us, which was a whole different thing, man. It's like they were so great.
And at that time, they had let's see, they hadn't come out with their major release of like I think it was more 94, 95.
Yeah.
But they had Outshine, which is a killer track. Rusty Cage was already there. And then they were there again on the uprise to becoming massive, right? And they both started out opening up for Skid Row on these crazy tours that were just sound like one hell of a time. You could be a fly on the wall.
They would go out and do these just massive sets, and you talk to them afterwards, and they were just like the most mellow, friendly guys. And they'd go out there, and they were just a monster, scary band. And then afterwards, they're just really super cool, chill, you know, kind of stonerish. Really nice guys. Yeah.
Gosh, that's so crazy. What memories from that, right? And then shortly after you guys go with Van Halen, so it just seemed like going these monumental moments when in your career.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. You know.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this interview. Just a quick reminder, make sure to mark your calendars for June 5th in Brentwood, Tennessee at Lane Music, where we will be hosting a live in-person Talking Shred episode and masterclass with the mighty Phil X, the session assassin, the lead guitarist of Bon Jovi. Make sure to visit Mastersofshred.com where you can get more ticket info, reserve your tickets, and I do urge you to reserve them now because they are going quick. And now back to your regular scheduled programming.